today I'm going to speak a little bit more conceptually. Definitely going to go through some options that we have passing, with some concepts that should help pass in all different scenarios and situations. So you can get into that. Especially in the gi, grips are really, really important. There's a lot of different ways of opening the guard. I don't want to really get into opening the guard right now. Depending on what position I'm in, kind of dictates the grips that I personally like. Alright, if I'm in somebody's open guard, I'm in a closed guard, and I have to do everything to open up, right? Like let's just say I open the guard, I step up my leg, I push down, right? When their legs are outside me, I like to get grips on the inside of their pants, elbows tight, right? Now I can step around one, I can be in this position, or I can be over under, I can pass around this side, pass over this leg, but I like having one foot, my elbows tight over here, right? If I don't keep my elbows tight, you may kind of just swim in, right, with this feet. Lasso, right? Like lasso grip, all right? I don't want that to happen. I want to keep my elbows nice and tight. I have control over here, all right? Today I'm going to discuss a little bit more like if he's in butterfly guard, all right? And there's 1,000 different ways that I can get here. He may put himself in this situation, or I may have opened his guard, backed out of his guard, and he's kind of sitting down, feeling comfortable over here where he's sitting up. He can sit up for a single leg, right? Come up right to my leg. So when I have somebody in butterfly guard, I like to get their back to the mat, and I've discussed this before in previous videos, all right? So before I even really establish grips, depending on the passing I'm doing, I'll either push his back to the mat like this, right, and then get outside handles, right, or sitting up, and I'm moving back and forth, I can grab his ankles, lift him up, right, and then I'll take my outside handles. Here you notice his legs are on the inside of me, all right, as opposed to the outside of me. Okay, so when his legs are on the inside of me, I like to grab, instead of here and breaking and having to come inside, I'd rather pin his knees together, and now my options to either go around his legs, pushing him to one side, all right? So it kind of changes my approach to passing, all right? So when I get to this position, I have his pants and outside grips and his back on the mat, all right? I generally like to take his knees, keep them together, and I will collapse his legs to one side. And you'll notice, when I collapse his legs, I don't just move my upper body, all right? I take a big step out, moving his knees. Right? From here, pinching his knees together, I want to keep my weight on him. So I'm going to walk right now, my weight's a lot on my left foot. I'm going to walk my foot back, right? And I'm keeping most of my pressure on my hands. Here, I'm just going to walk around, walk, walk, walk. All right? I leave one knee by his butt, one knee by his shoulder. Bottom hand comes to the top hand comes underneath his head. All right, here I establish my position. I'm in a nice, good side control over here. All right, I can even get underneath the arm, all right, and hold my position, score my points, all right? Or, hold my position and, make sure I'm in side control, establish, and my kids settle in, then start looking to attack, all right? Some things that do happen here is, let's say I'm holding his knees, right? And I'm looking to come around, and he's just like pushing off my hip. I'm having a hard time, keeps on shrinking his hips back, right? Like I can't establish. I want to get here, but every time I kind of like, oh, he's pushing on my hip and he's shooting his hips out, all right? Doesn't mean that I still can't work this pass. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to look to continue to spin all the way around here. So instead of just coming over here trying to settle my weight, what I'm having a hard time doing is pushing off my hip or the bottom back of my armpit, right? I'm gonna have a hard time caging his hips or getting control. What I'll actually do is I'll let go of my right hand and I'm gonna continue to spin. So instead of finishing the pass on this side, I'm gonna go all the way around his head and I'm gonna finish on the opposite side. So again, when he's sitting up and I grab his pant legs, right? I get his back to the mat, either way, lifting up his legs or pushing him down, get my outside grip. Big step out, okay? Walk my legs back. Now I know he keeps on pushing my hip. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spin, spin, spin. I'm gonna let go of the bottom hand and I'm gonna continue to spin, spin, spin all the way around, right? I still have the top grip to control his hip because I don't want him to get his knee back inside. So I don't want him to get his top knee back inside. I'm gonna hold, my other hand comes for a cross face to prevent him from coming up for any kind of single, right? Flatten him out. As I do that, I'm gonna bring his back to the mat, get my knee to block his hip, right? If he started still continuing on his side, I can take my hand off of this leg and block his hip, right? Physically block his hip, keep this hand over his shoulder. I'm comfortable here. I can stay off my toes, keeping my weight on Eugene. So again, if I'm having a hard time settling my weight, keeps on framing, blasting his hips out, I'm gonna go with a hard spin all the way around. I have to let go of the grip though, right? I have to let go of one of the pan grips. There's no way I'm gonna be able to spin all the way around if I'm holding with both hands. So here he's in butterfly, I get his back to the mat, right? Lift his legs, right? Start working my grips, I establish outside control, handles on the outside of his knees, big step out, right? Over here. When I go spin hard, if he's shrimping, I let go of my left hand. So here, I let go all the way around, spin, right? Now I know he's turned into me. He can start looking to escape, all right? So I have a good pan grip. From here, I'm going to look to flatten him out, right? Keeping his pressure. Hold his pants, bring his knees back over this way, put my hand on his hip, pop him on belly, right? Again, if he was still turned into me, I was having a hard time breaking him down, take my hand off of his pant, lock his shoulder, stay over here, toes on the mat, all right? So there's a lot of different ways of maintaining my position. What's important is that I went for my first pass, I couldn't cage his hips when I was on this side, so I spun all the way around, all right, and looked to get different control. All right, so a really, really basic pass, but definitely highly effective. As I mentioned, you need to have a way to attack, and if that's not working, you need to have a plan B, okay? Additional to a plan B, there should also be a plan C, and hopefully a plan D, okay? So I'm gonna discuss one other option, and I'm gonna save some other things for another video. So another situation that could happen is once I bring his back to the mat, legs together, I big step out, he now takes his foot and hooks my leg, okay? So now I want to go behind him, right? But I can't, there's a roadblock right here, all right? Not the end of the world, I just need to understand what's preventing me. Okay, right now, his foot is like half a circle, right? He's got his toe all the way around, it's like a hook, right? It's like half a circle, it's around my leg. There's no way that I could take my leg out, right? I can't go through a structure, but I could go around it. So when I'm over here and I pinch his legs together, he's hooked onto me, what I like to do is I like to take my knee, put it on top, adds additional pressure. Now I'm not gonna try to just pull my leg out, I'm gonna go further out, all right? And then back step behind, all right? Once I clear that hook, now I'm home free. Same thing, walk my legs back, one knee by his butt, one knee by his shoulder, bottom hand to top hand around his head in control, okay? If I was having a hard time, if I got here, right, and I put my knee, and I came here, and I back stepped out, and I started pushing on my hips, right, and I'm trying to sit down, and I can't get that, I'm gonna go to the same pass that we just did. I'm gonna let go of the bottom grip, keep on spinning, right, hand in front of his face, settle my weight, pop up, knee on belly, all right, but I went for my first move. He defended differently this time by using his foot. I smashed my knee on top. I was able to back step. Then I went back to my first pass. When I went back to my first pass, he defends by shrugging. I went back to the second pass. Instead of finishing on this side, I walked all the way around his head. All right, you have to think of passing or everything that we do in combination. A doesn't work, you go to B. B doesn't work, you go to C. C doesn't work, you go back to A. A doesn't work, you look for B, all right? Start building multiple attacks so that you have different options depending on how he defends, all right? Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Definitely start working on passing the guard. Just went to a tournament this weekend. Cannot discuss, I see so many people in the tournament pulling guard, and I try to get my guys to work for takedowns. Guard is a great position, but you have to understand that you're going to score most of your points on top. I tell everybody who competes that if you're mounting somebody, you're not losing that tournament, all right? So bottom line, when you're on top, you can pass their guard, you can get knee on belly, you can take back control, all right? There's a lot of different ways of scoring. If you're on the bottom, your ways of scoring is generally sweeping somebody, which means to get on top. There's a ton of submissions, but always look to score points in dominating position, all right? Be sure to go out and train, give it a shot. Peace.